It's the Wine Country Saturday Soundtrack Podcast. You know, on Saturdays, we play fun music and we feature great information at 993thevine.com with me, Big Rick Stewart, and music from my time at Live 105 and at KFOG. We also mix in some stories that I find kind of interesting, whether it's local music or food or tech or just kind of some cool things I think you ought to know about. It's always lots of fun. Fun music and great information happens every Saturday at 993thevine.com. And the Wine Country Saturday Soundtrack Podcast features great information like this. Hey, I'm Big Rick Stewart, host of the Wine Country Saturday Soundtrack. Thanks for hanging out with me. Okay, 49ers fans, you're going to want to know about this one. It could be that the Super Bowl logo itself is predicting who will play in the Super Bowl. It's just a few weeks away. And, I wouldn't be mentioning this unless the 49ers were predicted. So what's this all about? All right, well, in 21, the NFL made a little tweak to the Super Bowl logo. It was just silver, like the trophy, but they decided to include the colors of some of the hometowns where the Super Bowl was being played. All right, so the first Super Bowl that had this new logo was played in Los Angeles, and it had some palm trees and a yellow and orange hue. The teams that played in the Super Bowl in 2022, the Bengals, who have those orange and black colors, and also the Rams, who are blue and yellow. So the colors are in the logo for that year. You get that? A year later, the game was played in Arizona, and they had the Chiefs, which had red and white in the logo colors, and the green and black of the Eagles were also in the logo colors. So how about this year? The game's being played in Las Vegas, so the Super Bowl logo, you can look it up, has the Vegas skyline, and the colors are red and gold, 49ers, black and purple, the Baltimore Ravens. Hey, we might have a little rematch on our hands. Plus those seem like they are the two best teams in football. That's the color conspiracy predictor for the upcoming Super Bowl. I didn't make this up. This is like actual scientific information. Kind of, sort of. Hey, I'm Big Rick Stewart. It's the Wine Country Saturday Soundtrack at 99.3 The Vine. Hey, I'm Big Rick Stewart. It's the Wine Country Saturday Soundtrack. Oh, that whole go to Tahoe or, wherever you like to go skiing thing, like everything else, it's gotten kind of expensive. You may be wondering, well, how much does it really cost to go? Just forget about gas, forget about renting equipment, forget about staying at the hotel, motel, Holiday Inn, whatever, wherever you're going to stay, whatever. Just to get on the slopes. Now, these are like some of the best ski places, like in the country, like in the world, right? But still, this is where a lot of people go. Tahoe lift ticket prices, ready? It used to be called Squaw Valley. Now it's called Palisades. Today, which is kind of still the holiday season, so high demand for these, $279, probably also tomorrow. North Star, $256, and Heavenly, $246. Lift ticket pricing at most resorts is dynamic. This is from sfstandard.com. So the price factors in snow conditions, what day of the week it is, and the current demand. So there's all that to take into consideration. So if you can break away for like a midweek thing that isn't during spring break or some holidays, you're probably going to save a little money. If you buy extra days, like a 2 or 3 day pass, you'll save a little money overall, but you'll spend more in total. Does all that make sense? Then you got to rent all the equipment or else maybe buy some. It is expensive. You could easily drop $1,000 a day, right? Easily. Then you got to make the drive up there and back. But these are some pretty epic places to go. If you're not right around Lake Tahoe, you can save a whole bunch of money. So maybe consider some other options if you're looking to save some money. And oh, by the way, parking. Yeah, they've got a lot of new parking rules for lots of these places. So wherever you're going, make sure to check on the parking. You might have to buy a parking pass in advance or arrange for a shuttle or something else. Enjoy. Have fun. I'm Big Rick Stewart. It's the Wine Country Saturday Soundtrack at 99.3 The Vine. It's the Wine Country Saturday Soundtrack. I'm Big Rick Stewart. Oh, I love this from Wine Spectator. What wine is fit for a king? How about Napa Chardonnay?
And how about Napa Pinot Noir, all coming from the Carneros region. The story goes like this. It all happened as they were kicking off King Charles' 75th birthday festivities, and Napa Valley winery Bouchain received a rare invitation to serve their wine at the London book launch party for the English King's latest biography, King Charles III, The Leadership and Vision of a Modern Monarch. Okay, all right, You know, wow, okay. So they had this event at the Claridge Hotel, which is a big fancy place in London. In fact, then Prince Charles and Prince Diana's wedding reception was there. Bouchain has been involved with the royals in the past. The wines were served at the Queen's Jubilee in 2022, and the owners of Bouchain met Princess Margaret while they were vacationing in the Caribbean. Wow, very nice. All right. I really like Bouchain. They have some really great wines. They've also met some of the other royals as well. So, you know, there's a kind of a thing going on here between Napa Valley, Bouchain, and the royals over in England. Bouchain president and winemaker Chris Kijani made the trek with some of the wines to serve in person. So I know you're wondering, what did they serve? Well, how about 2020 Bouchain Estate Chardonnay? They had a couple of 21 vintage Pinot Noirs, a Riesling, and a Syrah. They have a great tasting room. It's kind of newish out in the Carneros region with this incredible view, and they are some of the nicest people. And so you got to go there. You can bring some lunch and have a little picnic and enjoy some of the same wines the royals have right here in Napa Valley. That is cool. Good job, you guys. I'm Big Rick Stewart. It's the Wine Country Saturday soundtrack at 99.3 The Vine. I'm Big Rick Stewart. Thanks for hanging out for your Saturday as we wrap up the year on the Wine Country Saturday soundtrack. And oh, what a fun year it's been. If you're a teacher or have kids, or you just have a good sense of humor, you will like this story from the New York Post. A teacher asked his students, what should you get for someone in their 30s? This is Shane Frank. And the Post says, a millennial teaching 7th grade in Palm Springs, California. What do you buy someone in their 30s for the holidays? He asked. Of course, kids, 7th graders, came up with crazy answers, some hitting maybe a little too close to reality, and some of them are just straight up funny. All right, so some of the answers the kids gave. What should you buy someone in their 30s, something for the holidays? The 7th graders said, Candy Crush Premium. Okay, I mean, that might be something the 7th grader would want. I mean, I don't know. Someone else who probably knows people in their 30s extremely well said, a bottle of wine and hip implants. Oh my God. Another 7th grader replied, Panera Bread gift card because people in their 30s love soup. Okay, what's wrong with soup? I like soup. Is that funny or something? Another 7th grader replied, you give them bath and body work stuff. It's what my mom wants. All right, very observant. I think you couldn't go wrong with that. Someone said you get them old people candles that smell like home or back then. What is that? And here's one I like. Heated blankets because their muscles be hurting. Yeah, I know what that is. And finally, someone said, a coffee mug that says, don't talk to me until I've had my coffee because they're all coffee-obsessed millennials. That one hits a little close to home. 7th graders. That's awesome. I'm Big Rick Stewart. It's the Wine Country Saturday soundtrack at 99.3 The Vine. I'm Big Rick Stewart. It's the Wine Country Saturday soundtrack. Lots of new things coming for the new year, including a new location for Silver Trident Winery Tasting Room. This is the little place in Yountville that has like the interior. They've worked with Ralph Lauren, so they've got these really cool things there, and you can like go check out the Ralph Lauren home collection while you're having a tasting at Silver Trident. And as fancy as all that sounds, they're pretty laid back and pretty mellow. I'm going to tell you about two of these unique features that make Silver Trident so awesome. But first of all, their new location now. Previously, they were across from Ranch Market. Now they're moving south but just a little bit, like a block away. They're going to be right behind the Wells Fargo bank building, right in that little courtyard. There's a fountain. It's so beautiful back in that little corner. So it's going to be a really awesome place to go. So Silver Trident is going to be there. It's going to open on January 18th, and you can go there and check it out. They got some new designs and some new little places to hang out inside, a courtyard with a fountain outside, which is going to be nice. And here are the two tastings that make Silver Trident so different from everyone else. And maybe some other people are doing this, but the first time I ever heard of this was at Silver Trident. The Potato Chip Extravaganza. All right, so they have great wines, and they pair them, ready, with potato chips. And guess what? It works out great. It's a really great, interesting pairing. You're going to really like it. They also have, for all of you, fur baby fans, puppy pairings. Puppy pairings is a tasting of 4 gourmet doggy treats, and then the doggy gets a take-home Silver Trident branded water bowl while you're enjoying a more adult beverage. You don't want to leave the puppy out of the whole mix. All right. So puppies and potato chips and Ralph Lauren and the whole thing opens January 18th, just behind Wells Fargo in Yountville. New Silver Trident Winery tasting room. Go check it out and enjoy. I'm Big Rick Stewart. It's the Wine Country Saturday soundtrack at 99.3 The Vine. I'm Big Rick Stewart, host of the Wine Country Saturday soundtrack. Always fun music and great information. Thanks for hanging out today. This is from slashgear.com, a good tech website. How to spot a card skimmer at the pump when getting gas. You might have heard about card skimmers, but you're kind of like, well, tell me more. I don't know about all this. All right. So these card skimmers are devices that can be attached to card readers that read your ATM card, and you punch in your numbers and all that stuff, right? They can also, in a high-tech way, skim the actual card and kind of copy it. And they can even use these devices that work with the cards, and they'll hide little tiny cameras that you can't see at the gas pump, and they will watch you as you punch in your number. There's all kinds of devious things going on here, and there's lots of different ways to do this. So you don't want to have it happen to you, that's for sure. So SlashGear has some tips. If you're standing at a gas pump and it looks different than the other gas pumps in any way, there's an attachment where the card goes in, where it isn't on the other gas pumps, or certainly if there's like any wires or any weird thing, do not use that gas pump. Just like forget about it. Go inside and tell them if you feel like you want to do that, but definitely don't use that gas pump because something's weird going on there. They sometimes have a little like a sticker on the side. If this sticker is broken, then don't use the pump and go tell the guy the sticker's broken or whatever. There's a little door there if that looks kind of weird and different. How can you save yourself from this happening? Well, you can tap to pay. Sometimes they have those credit cards that have that little built-in thing, little square thing. You can tap that. You can use your phone to pay, and that's safer. Or guess what? You can go inside and give them $60 and say $60 on pump number 1. And oh, by the way, I try to also only use pumps that I think the register person can see. I just feel like they're safe. All right, you be safe out there while you're traveling around for the holidays. Fill her up. I'm Big Rick Stewart. It's the Wine Country Saturday soundtrack at 99.3 The Vine.
Well, those are some stories that I have featured on the Wine Country Saturday soundtrack. Tune in at 8 a.m. every Saturday at 993thevine.com. I'm Big Rick Stewart here. Music from my days at Live 105 and KFOG, some current songs, lots of surprises and more. It's always lots of fun. We have a 10 at 10, a Beatles brunch at noon. It happens all day. The Wine Country Saturday soundtrack and the Wine Country Saturday soundtrack podcast. Tell your friends, and thanks for listening to this podcast, and thanks for checking out 993thevine.com.